Charles, are you ready? You good? Okay.
And just for the record, Mr. Thacker's not attending, and we have a new clerk, Miss Robinson. So this is a public hearing on the transient occupancy tax. So we'll be taking public comment if anybody has anything to say about that. And we can do a call then if you need to at 276-333-0357.
Mr. Chair, so everybody knows, the transient occupancy tax ordinance that we're considering, our current rate is 2%, and the thought is to take that to 5%, which is where it was a few years ago before it was lowered. And anything taken in over 2%, that additional 3% has to be spent for tourism on that, so
Thank you.
Current rate is what, did you say, Larry?
2%.
So we're wanting to raise it to 5.
And we were 5%. I think in 21, we lowered it from 5 to 2.
And anything inside the towns will remain at 2 unless
It will, unless we
we have an
negotiate an
agreement with
the
the
town.
towns.
Yes.
Just the breaks.
So it's my understanding this has to pass the General Assembly?
No, not with this. It's the locality's decision as to what to set the rate at, but I think you may have a call.
I mean, my computer.
Larry,
Okay,
you
I'm
have
sorry, I
a
thought it was a call, so, okay.
I mean-
But what you're thinking of is with the Breaks Park, as far as if
Yeah.
we were able to collect within the boundaries of the Breaks Park, that would have to pass the General Assembly, and this would apply to them at that time, so.
Well, we don't have a motel out here. And some of these, we have a few,
Airbnbs.
Airbnbs.
Campgrounds are considered short-term lodging,
so
so,
campgrounds pay this.
yes.
Does that include the core campground?
Not the core
Not the
campgrounds,
core
we can't collect on core property, but, you know, like Quesaquana
Okay,
and
so,
Ding Hills and.
I don't see any public coming up to comment or anything, so I think we can entertain a motion to close the public comment.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Do I need a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it.
So we have a few minutes till meeting starts.
You've got your seat back.
are you there, Mr. Sturgill?
I'm good. How are you? I'm not used to you being on this side,
I
Robin.
know, I'm not used to being on, I've never sat on this side.
Got
Yeah,
a
I
late
know.
resolution
You might have to
in
calm
here,
me
it looks
down.
like.
Yeah,
And I got
Mutual
my
aid.
OC back. This is where I was
That-
at
that's
agreement.
exactly right. Yeah,
4 years
yeah.
ago. This way, chair and vice chair's together.
Oh, well, that works. Yeah.
I'm gonna keep up the motions, I'll give them numbers. Richard, he hurt himself, he said? Bad?
Apparently.
He's dying or tired.
Yeah, I'd say that's right. You know,
It is.
that line of work.
And he's done it for a long time, I guess he's got 30 years.
Oh, yeah. Been there a good while.
Huh?
He's been there a long time.
I tell you, he worked up the creek,
He's been through several sheriffs.
you work under Bobby Allen? Bobby Emmons?
He was, did he get him on?
Yeah. He
Not
worked up to
Frank.
the,
He worked for Frank
he did.
Childers too. 6 o'clock. We'll call this meeting to order. First thing on our agenda is a silent prayer. Mr. Barton, would you care to
Sure.
lead us in prayer?
Let us pray. Our most kind and gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we just so humbly come before you once again this evening, Lord. Lord, we ask your blessing upon our business this evening, Lord, that you just guide our supervisors, Lord. Lord, be with Richard, who's unable to be with us this evening. We pray for healing with him, that he gets to feeling better, Lord, and just watch over all of our county and keep us safe, Lord, with the upcoming storm this weekend. I pray that you'll keep everyone safe and help us through that, I pray. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Now, we'll all rise. We'll do the pledge. Ms. Kaiser, would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Yours not moving.
All right, number 2, we got approval of minutes, and I think we can take all these at one time. That would be the December 11th special meeting, the December 11th joint public hearing, the December 16th regular meeting, December 16th public hearings on adoption of the veterans exemption, adoption of the solar ordinance, and adoption of solid waste ordinance. So if I can get a motion to
We
accept
also
all
have,
those.
Mr. Chair, the January 2nd, 2026 organizational meeting.
Oh, and the January 2nd, thank you, Mr. Porter, organizational meeting.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes as of all of those that you read and that are listed.
Thank you, Ms. Cozen.
I second it.
Thank you, Ms. Mills. All in favor? All
Aye.
opposed? Ayes have it. And now we need an approval of the agenda. We got some agenda
Thank you,
items.
Mr. Chair. Before you, you'll have an addendum that I'd left right before the meeting, and we're asking to add an item 11B. The sheriff provided to me late this afternoon a mutual aid and cooperation agreement that's going to be between Dickinson County and Buchanan County Sheriff's Offices. And I would also like to remove item 10D. We'd like to table that. We'll bring that back again in February for consideration. That would be on the budget amendment for the Sheriff's Department vehicle. We've run into some issues on our quotes and pricing. The Sheriff and I talked about that right before the meeting and decided let's wait till February on that till we confirm those numbers up a little better.
Thank you. So now we need a motion to approve the agenda with the addition of 11B, mutual aid and cooperation agreement for law enforcement, and removal of item 10D, the budget amendment for the Sheriff's Department vehicle.
Do we have to do those
If there's-
separately? Or
No, if there's no other agenda items, I'll make a motion that we approve it as presented with those additions and subtractions.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Ayes have it. On to number 4, the consent agenda, and I'm gonna take this with 4A, approval of expenditures, and separate that out. So I need a motion to approve the consent agenda A.
Hey, did you have anything on it?
Yeah, I can make a motion.
I make a motion that we approve all of the expenditure, all B, C, D, E, F, G, and H, and I.
Well, I need one for A. We're gonna do A first.
You're gonna do A first,
Yeah.
okay?
A will be out by itself.
I make a motion that we approve the expenditures with the exception of Ms. Kaiser's check.
Yeah, she'll.
No,
have to
we'll just
abstain.
approve the vendors. Ms. Kaiser will abstain from those. It's usually the simplest way, I think, is
I
it,
agree.
Mr. Sturgill? So,
So just to approve the expenditures by themselves.
yes, yes, ma'am.
I make a motion we approve the expenditures.
Thank you, Ms. Willis. Need a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 I abstain.
Now we can move on to the consent agenda B through I. The County Administrator's Report, Recovery Court, Community Work Program, Animal Control Report, Fire and Rescue Report, Litter Control Report, Building Official Report, and the Sheriff's Report. So I need a motion to accept B through I.
I'll make that motion that we approve B through I on the consent agenda.
Thank you. Need a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
I as well. Now, that brings us down to public comment. So, Mr. Sturgill, would you care to read the?
Yes. Give me just a second, I'm trying to pull it. Okay.
You are currently the only person in this conference.
All right. There shall be a time limit for each individual speaker of 3 minutes. The representative of a group may have up to 5 minutes to make a presentation. The representative shall identify the group at the beginning of his or her presentation. Speakers are not permitted to donate time to other speakers. No speaker's time shall be extended except by unanimous consent or 2/3 vote of the board members present. Prohibited conduct. Persons appearing before the board will not be allowed to campaign for public office, promote private business venture, use profanity or vulgar language, use language which insults or demeans any person when directed at a public official or employee when not related to his or her official duties. However, citizens have the right to make comment on the performance, conduct, and qualification of public figures, make frivolous statements, interrupt other speakers, or engage in behavior that disrupts the meeting, including but not limited to applause, cheers, etc., engage in behavior that intimidates others, and address the board on issues that do not concern the services, policies, or affairs of the county.
Thank you, Mr. Sturgill.
Thank you.
So now, if anybody would like to make a public comment, you can step up to the podium here and state your name and address. And if anybody wants to call in, it's 276-333-0357.
Certainly somebody in this group wants to make a public comment.
Mr. Mullins, any calls?
I'll do one last call for public comment. Phone number again is 276-333-0357.
Excuse me, is that the portion like if you want to make a request?
Public comments, you can come up to the podium here and talk, just
Okay.
talk about whatever you need to talk about.
Right there at the podium.
My name's Edith Edwards, and I would like to request a sign be put up at where I was raised, and it's called, everybody calls it the John Wright Street.
My grandfather had a barber shop there, and I wonder how many people even remembers my grandfather, but everybody called it the John Wright Street their whole life, and it's located on Route 80, just below Frying Pan, beside the Big Bottom.
There used to be a barber shop down there?
Yes.
We had a barber shop there when I grew up. My daddy was a barber there.
Now, is this the straight, before
John
you get
Wright
to
Street, they
Bartlett, turn
call
off
it.
to make Bartlett?
No, before you get to
No,
the Frying
it's,
Pan.
this is up above
Oh, a
Sandley.
frying pan.
Yes, on
Yeah.
Route
And
80.
he had a barber shop up there?
My daddy did, yeah.
Well, let's see.
Just for some clarification, have you contacted VDOT?
I called them and they told me to come and talk to you all. I contacted the highway department and they said, come talk to you all.
They said it had to be approved by the Board of Supervisors before they could do it.
Okay, so this Something we can look into, Mr.
Yes,
Gordon?
Mr. Chair, I will reach out. I'll get with our clerk. Miss Teresa used to do that for us. When sign requests would come up, I'll get with Brenna, and we'll reach out to VDOT, see what the process would be, see if that's something we could do. And also, at the same time, I spoke with Richard Thacker before the meeting. He said to give you his apologies. He wanted to be here when you came and made your request. He said he had spoken with you, but unfortunately, he wasn't able to attend the meeting today. But he wanted me to let you know he wanted to be here. So, but we will definitely follow up, and I'll come and get you if I can get your phone number and stuff. Get that, then I'll follow back up with you once we try to learn more what the steps will be and what we can do. So.
Okay, yeah, I would like to honor my dad with that, 'cause
Mr. Chairman,
he was my best buddy.
Yes, ma'am.
was your dad the preacher John Wright?
No,
Okay. I didn't
No.
know. He lived on Dank Mountain over in there somewhere.
yeah.
I thought I'd ask. Thank you.
Yeah, I never got to meet my grandpa, but, he was a barber in his older years and law enforcement in his younger years, and he done a little bit of everything.
Yeah, he was policeman in Hayside for a long time, and he kept run pool hall and bought him a theater and kept the theater warm in the wintertime when I was growing up.
I had, Mr. Chairman, may I say something?
Yes.
I had never heard it called the John Wright Straight.
Oh, people asked me where I grew up, and I said, well, I grew up where the big long straightway is. Oh, you grew up at the John Wright Straight.
So that's before you turn off to go up Frying Pan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right beside the big bottom.
There's a big bottom there. It used to
Yeah,
be,
that big bottom, I've seen that, yeah.
yeah. We
But not
used to
many
tend
people
that
live up
bottom all the
Friday.
time, and then Clinchfield started stacking lumber in it.
Yeah.
Or I guess it was Clinchfield, or from the big band mill. It used to be up there above Sand Lake.
Well, we'll gladly look into that for you.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Good afternoon. I'm Nathan Mullins, and I'm the chief with Clinch Cove Fire Department and the operations manager with Clintwood Rescue. And I was too late to get put on the agenda, but I just wanted to update you all on grants that we've received for both departments. Clinch Cove received a $4,973.09 grant, and that's going to be a 50-50 match through the forestry department. And we also received a $99,990.17 grant through the fire programs, and that's 100%. So there will be no match on that. And Clintwood Rescue Squad received $300,792.80 for a new ambulance and paraload. And also received $6,792.80 for computers, and that's going to be a 70-30 match.
That's wonderful.
It's great. Mr. Chairman, may I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
I saw, Chris and I saw the new ambulance at the Clintwood Rescue Squad, and it was very impressive. It had the striker, is that what you call
The
it?
striker stretcher, yes.
Striker stretcher. I asked him to do it twice because it was just, you could load somebody with one person,
Yeah,
which is amazing.
and that ambulance includes a new striker system as well.
This new ambulance you're getting is a box ambulance?
It will be a box ambulance, yes, four-wheel drive box.
Well, I'm so thankful for that.
So, I just wanted to give you an update on everything.
Appreciate that.
Thank you all.
Nathan.
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody else?
Mr. Chair, if I'd share while we're talking about that, Nathan, they received the Clintwood Fire Grant. I see Sandy Ridge, we'd applied on behalf of Sandy Ridge Fire we got $99,063 as well with no match. Clintwood Fire received a grant. I want to say theirs was in the $70,000 range. And then Hayside Fire received a grant as well. So all of our fire agencies received that, and it's going to be for PPE. They're going to get new turnout gear, helmets, boots, and it's a 100% grant. So we were glad to help with those. So.
Great.
That's good.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
We're pushing 500K in grant funding for
It's stuff that's
fire and
very,
rescue.
very much needed
Yeah.
in the county with our departments, so.
Did you help them with these grants?
We helped some. We wrote Sandy Ridge on their behalf, and we helped with Hayside's writing theirs, and the town had to submit it, so.
Wonderful.
Any other public comment? Seeing none, we'll entertain a motion to close public comment.
I'll make that motion.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Uh,
Aye.
And I also, I get that on my computer here.
All right, moving on to number 6. We got Dickinson County as a Second Amendment sanctuary jurisdiction. We got Mr. Joni Baker is wanting to make a presentation. How are you, Mr. Baker?
Been a little bit under the weather, but
Oh, no.
apparently this weekend we're all going to be under it. So hopefully that'll pass. But my name's Joni Baker. I'm a full-time deputy here in Dickinson County. I'm off duty right now, just to make that clear with everybody. And I own Knights Consulting, the Republican chairman of Dickinson County, a husband, a father, papaw now. And what we're here about with this resolution is we're back to where we was in 2020 because they've got a supermajority in Richmond. And I'm not here against our board because I have faith in our Board of Supervisors that we're going to pass this resolution to make a statement of where we stand with our constitutional rights in Dickinson County. I've spoken with Sheriff Jeremy Fleming, who fully supports and defends our constitutional rights and will do so as sheriff, as he always has. I've also spoken with Delegate Terry Kilgore, Senator Todd Pillion, Delegate Will Moorfield. They're all staunch supporters and defenders of our Constitution. So this is a hot item talking about guns, right? But there's more at play than just the guns, because up in Richmond, they're going to, unfortunately, probably make a lot of bad decisions. Yeah, it'll go into the school system. It'll go into a lot of crazy bills that we're going to see. And that don't necessarily speak for our values here in Dickinson County or Southwest Virginia. So really, as a rally point, we all need to come together when we're facing this stuff that we've not seen come to pass yet. We need to come together as a community, as neighbors, because this stuff affects all of us, regardless of what our political beliefs are. Whether we like one another or not, we need to come together as a community, just like we do in crisis all the time in Dickinson County and surrounding counties. We need to support our elected officials that are willing to stand up and take the fire, so to speak, when things don't go exactly how it should go. When you got to be in the crosshairs of the government saying one thing in Richmond, and then you got citizens that come and face you locally. So with all due respect to our Board of Supervisors, our sheriffs, and everyone, we need to get behind our elected officials, and we need to support them. We need to support Terry Kilgore. We need to support Todd Pillion. We need to support Will Moorfield, who's up in Richmond facing this horrible mess that we're going to hear unfolds time after time for the next several months. And we're going to have to deal with this. So I've read this resolution over and over. I mean, the Constitution and the Second Amendment, it says what it means, and it means exactly what it says. Everything that's on this, I agree with 100%. Our clerk's office, makes it very easy for people to go get a concealed weapons permit. Myself, I believe in Constitution carry. But they make that available. You can go get your permit. Then there's gun safety classes. Somebody needs to be trained with a firearm. So everything in Dickinson County is at play. This right here is just a public show of where we stand together as friends, families, neighbors, as a community, and our body of government. And that's what I had to say tonight, is we just need to rally around our folks that's willing to sit here in front of us and take our concerns elsewhere. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Baker.
Mr. Chairman, didn't we pass a resolution, in 2020?
In December 2019, the Board of Supervisors at that time passed a resolution declaring Dickinson County as a Second Amendment sanctuary jurisdiction, and this would be, it's got some updated language in it, but that would
What's
just be
the, what's the
reaffirming.
difference between this legislation and,
This is
Different language.
there's some language that adds some additional court cases and things in there, but ultimately, at the end, when you get to the nail, therefore be it resolved, it's pretty well the same thing, so.
Now that brings us down to 6B, which is the resolution.
I'll make a
Mr. Barton,
motion
would
that we
you-
have passed the new resolution.
What was that, Ms. Will?
I said I make a motion that we pass this resolution with the additions that's added to it previously from when we passed it in 2019.
We have a second?
I'll second it.
All right. Any further discussion? Do we need to read the resolution?
We can.
It's up to you as far as that. It's not necessarily required, but if you want the public to
Read it
know
for the
what,
public.
correct.
Would you like me to read it, or do you want to read it, or?
If you don't care to read it,
Sure.
Mr. Barton.
This is a resolution declaring Dickinson County, Virginia as a Second Amendment sanctuary, whereas the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution reads, "A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed," and whereas the United States Supreme Court in District of Columbia versus Heller, 554 U.S. 570 in 2008, affirmed an individual's right to possess firearms unconnected with service in a militia for traditionally lawful purposes such as self-defense within the home, and whereas the United States Supreme Court in McDonald versus Chicago, 561 U.S. 742 in 2010, affirmed that the right of an individual to keep and bear arms as protected under the Second Amendment is incorporated by the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment against the states. And whereas the United States Supreme Court in United States versus Miller, 307 U.S. 174 in 1939, opined that firearms that are part of ordinary military equipment or with use that could contribute to the common defense are protected by the Second Amendment. And whereas Article 1, Section 13 of the Constitution of Virginia provides that a well-regulated militia composed of the body of the people trained to arms is the proper, natural, and safe defense of a free state. Therefore, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And whereas Article 1, Section 1 of the Constitution of Virginia reads that all men are by nature equally free and independent and have certain inherent rights of which, when they enter into the state of society, they cannot, by any compact, deprive or divest their posterity, namely the enjoyment of life, liberty, with the means of acquiring and possessing property and pursuing and obtaining happiness and safety. And whereas Article 1, Section 2 of the Constitution of Virginia reads that all power is vested in and consequently derived from the people, that magistrates are their trustees and servants, and at all times amenable to them. And whereas certain legislation that has or may be introduced in the Virginia General Assembly and certain legislation which has or may be introduced in the United States Congress could have the effect of infringing on the rights of law-abiding citizens to keep and bear arms as guaranteed by the Second Amendment to the United States Constitution and Article 1, Section 13 of the Constitution of Virginia. And whereas the Dickinson County Board of Supervisors is concerned about the passage of any bill containing language which could be interpreted as infringing the rights of citizens of Dickinson County to keep and bear arms, and whereas the Dickinson County Board of Supervisors wishes to express its deep commitment to the rights of all citizens of Dickinson County to keep and bear arms, and whereas the Dickinson County Board of Supervisors wishes to express opposition to any law that would unconstitutionally restrict the rights of the citizens of Dickinson County to keep and bear arms, and whereas the Dickinson County Board of Supervisors wishes to express its intent to stand as a sanctuary county for Second Amendment rights and to oppose, within the limits of the Constitution of the United States and the Commonwealth of Virginia, any efforts to unconstitutionally restrict such rights and to use such legal means at its disposal to protect the rights of the citizens of Dickinson County to keep and bear arms, including through legal action, the power to appropriate public funds, the right to petition for redress of grievances, and the power to direct the law enforcement employees of Dickinson County to not enforce any unconstitutional law. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Supervisors of Dickinson County, Virginia, that the Dickinson County Board of Supervisors hereby declares Dickinson County, Virginia, as a Second Amendment sanctuary, and that the Dickinson County Board of Supervisors hereby expresses its intent to uphold the Second Amendment rights of the citizens of Dickinson County, Virginia, and that the Dickinson County Board of Supervisors hereby expresses its intent that public funds of the county not be used to restrict the Second Amendment rights of the citizens of Dickinson County or to aid federal or state agencies in the restriction of said rights, and that the Dickinson County Board of Supervisors will not authorize or appropriate government funds, resources, employees, agencies, contractors, buildings, detention centers, or offices for the purpose of enforcing laws that unconstitutionally infringe on the people's right to keep and bear arms, and that the Dickinson County Board of Supervisors hereby declares its intent to oppose any infringement on the right of law-abiding citizens to keep and bear arms using such legal means as may be expedient, including without limitation court action. The undersigned clerk of the Board of Supervisors of the Dickinson County Board of Supervisors hereby certifies that the resolution set forth above was adopted during an open meeting on January 20th, 2026 by the Board of Supervisors.
Thank you, Mr. Barton. That was a lot. I'm sorry.
That was a lot, that's okay. It was longer than I realized once I started reading
That
it,
was
so.
a lot longer, yeah. Any other comments by the board? All right, hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye as well. All right. Now, we have a raft presentation, Mr. Baxter and Miss Hall.
Do you all have a copy of the presentation?
They've got a copy of them there.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
We're high tech.
You need us to dim the lights and turn the little ones on? Bear with us, it's being slow, but he's getting there, so.
Appreciate the screen, thank you.
Well, we can go ahead and introduce ourselves,
Sure.
Get started. Thank you for the opportunity to talk before the board tonight. My name is Ian Baxter. I work at UVA, and
Yeah, I'm Dr. Amanda Hall. I am the community builder for the raft, so I have a dual role at UVA Charlottesville and UVA Wise.
yeah, and today we're here to just give you guys an update on basically what we've been up to. So we're about almost a year into working here in Dickinson on the raft. So we wanted to talk about some of the projects we're working on and remind you all sort of what the actual raft is. All right, cool. Do you have a clicker?
Thank you.
It's awful light. Yeah, that's
Okay.
Moving night. Well, great. So the RAFT, it's an acronym, as a lot of things are. It stands for the Resilience, Adaptation, and Feasibility Tool. It's a community-driven resilience building process that we work with the government of a county in Virginia, as well as community members, to support and increase resilience. It's offered at no cost to localities. It's funded by grants, and we've been working in Virginia for about just over 10 years across the state. And really, when we talk about resilience, very, very quickly, when we're thinking about community resilience, we're looking to address social, economic, and environmental resilience. And I'll talk a little bit about kind of how we did that.
Sure. So, like Ian said, we've been in Dickinson County working for almost a year. And a little bit about the process that we've done in that last year. So the RAFT process is twofold. One is there's a scorecard for the county. We're not grading Dickinson County A, B, C, D. It's more to identify gaps in resilience and identify assets that we can enhance to make resilience stronger in Dickinson County. And again, we look at not just environmental resilience to flooding, which but also social resilience and economic resilience. So how do we maintain a workforce when there's a large pandemic, right? Or after a pandemic? How do we do a lot of the economic, make sure we're bringing economic opportunities in an area that increases jobs, but not just any job, but high-paying jobs, right? Livable wage jobs. So we look at resilience in a holistic way. So that scorecard was the first step, to kind of go through what the county already does and assess. Second, we did community listening sessions, input sessions. We had 3 sessions last year, the end of February, 1st of March. Made sure it was widely publicized as much as we could, and we had over 100 people from Dickinson County come to those sessions from a wide variety of sectors and towns and locations. We took all of that data, the scorecard, and then what the community said. Because sometimes what's written on paper about a flood zone is very different from people who live in a flood zone, what they think about it. So we listened and we combined that, came up with about 16 different projects that we could feasibly do with the community in a year to increase resilience in Dickinson County. Then held a workshop that was open to the public, went through those 16, and the community, along with county officials and town officials, selected 6 projects in Dickinson County, which is what we've been working on since August of this past year, with a team, implementation team made up of community members. There's some in the room, thank you for being here, but we have about 26 members on that team that are kind of facilitating those 6 projects in the county. And we're going to talk about what those projects are.
Yeah, and I think that's a great sort of summary. And I think one thing I forgot to kind of start with is that, probably should have started with this, the RAFT is a partnership with UVA-Wise, Old Dominion University, and Virginia Tech. So the team itself is bigger than just us. It's a statewide process and a statewide initiative. And also the cool thing about that I'll kind of talk about in a moment is that how we end up supporting these projects over the course of a year through the implementation is we're able to match them typically with faculty members, classes and students, as well as state agencies to help support the work directly. So we're not just coming up with a list of things saying, here's what's wrong, here's what you should fix. We're trying to the best of our ability and to the best of our partners' ability to actually complete or make significant progress on those initiatives over the course of the year. And so here are our 6 action items, like Amanda mentioned. These were selected by the county staff here in Dickinson, as well as our community members at our workshop. What I'm going to do is go through each of these individually and talk very briefly about what the gist is, what it's trying to accomplish, and who's involved. And then I guess if there are any questions, we'd be happy to answer them. So the first opportunity that we identified is what we're calling a resilience committee. This is something that's really commonly done as a part of the RAFT process across the state. It's essentially a framework or a committee or body for local leaders, community members, nonprofits, emergency personnel to basically think about preparing for and recovering from disasters and other resilience issues, right? So we have a long laundry list of what this committee could consider once it actually exists. But the overall goal is to help the county plan for emergencies, have a framework that can be activated prior to, for example, this weekend, prior to a major weather event, right after a weather event, to coordinate aid and recovery efforts. That's what I meant. The long-term recovery group is one way of doing that. And we're working right now with a staff member at George Mason University to help support those efforts here in Dickinson. So that's really exciting.
And it's not, I want to add, it's not that the county doesn't do these things well.
Yes.
That's not at all what this is. It's that in rural areas and counties, they don't always have the staff that other counties sometimes do, ready to just do all that work. So it puts a lot of strain on all of our emergency folks and our county officials when there's not a lot of extra capacity. So that's what the Resilience Committee and the networking with the RAFT will help provide that capacity. I just wanted to make that clear. It's not that there's any deficit.
Yeah, absolutely. Next one, it's also a committee. It's looking at energy opportunities. So thinking about how energy projects like solar, battery storage, reuse of old energy sites could benefit the county financially. I know that we have an expert sitting as the chair of the board, very interested in these issues, but we're thinking really about how these energy projects can bring jobs and revenue, how they can support different initiatives here in Dickinson. We have a great team at UVA, also at MIT, that are looking to provide information. We're going to be having some workshops, hopefully in the spring, to think about some of these issues and ideas. So that is another committee, and really what these project teams are working on is how are we developing these committees to be long-lasting and effective once the RAFT's over. The next one is thinking about what we're calling the Hidden Gems Map and Passport. So this is a project that's basically, we're working with Dickinson County Tourism as well as some other stakeholders to identify and share out cultural, historic, and environmental places in Dickinson County. So thinking about a way basically to highlight some of the things that are maybe less known about than what's typically included within a tourism brochure or a tourism initiative. We've been working over the fall. We worked with a UVA class. GIS stands for Geographic Information System. They basically made a series of maps that we're going to be working from to kind of finalize over the next year. And then we're also really excited about potentially developing what we're calling a passport program or some kind of way to guide people, incentivize people to visit these places so they can either track their progress through a passport, maybe with a stamp or some kind of way of basically facilitating people actually accessing these. And so, yeah, we're really excited to continue actually working in this spring with some of those same students that worked on the map creation in the fall.
And another project is a community navigator. So there are a lot of resources in Dickinson County and a lot of social service resources, food, transportation, if there is a need. A lot of times, though, people don't know, or what we heard from the community is they don't know where to go. And they may go to one and they may not know that there's 4 other resources available to them. So we heard several times that it would be nice if there was a centralized location and a central point person that could help folks identify no matter the list of needs, kind of a one-stop shop. And so that community navigator is what we're working on right now, is creating a position that would be a county position to help residents connect to services. It would not be housed specifically at a single institution. So for example, it would be at DSS, right? Or behavioral health. It would be at a community location such as the local library. It may travel if it, Hayside one day, whatever. Still working that out, but it is a navigator role to help people find the resources that they need without having to kind of figure out who to call, where to call them. Next is the Clintwood Community Kitchen feasibility study. So the community center beside the Ralph Stanley Museum in Clintwood. What we heard a lot during our community sessions is that there's really not a place or a commercial kitchen space that could provide hot meals. We heard from the Sheriff's Department, several other places, that is a significant need in Dickinson County, is potentially the delivery of hot meals to seniors in our area or folks without transportation. And so in order to do that, you have to have an accessible community kitchen. And so we are working on a feasibility study to see if that kitchen could be converted into mixed use. Mixed use as a commercial kitchen to potentially provide access for Meals on Wheels or something similar, but also could be used in a number of different ways in different groups. So that's what that project will do. And then the last is a resilience ordinance update. So really looking at local floodplain, stormwater, different ordinances and updating them accordingly so that they are more, what's the word I'm looking for?
Well,
really beneficial, right, and more efficient and user-friendly.
Yeah, and for this one, we obviously understand that it's the board's prerogative for this is not necessarily writing ordinances that would be passed. It's really thinking about what are other localities doing with stormwater management and floodplain management. What can we learn, for example, from DCR? I know that the team met today with some folks from DCR. What can we learn from a UVA law clinic that has some expertise in this type of ordinance development? So it's not, there's no mandate. This is really thinking about what can we learn and potentially apply to the county if it makes sense.
From locations that are like ours instead of just a template.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. And so we have a variety of next steps happening. So I guess a key thing is that we'll be working on the raft here in Dickinson until September of this year. I can't believe it's already 2026. But there's going to be ongoing support from the raft partnership, the universities I mentioned, state agencies, community partners. We have a variety of opportunities for community input on a lot of these initiatives. So there are going to be listening sessions, or I guess you can talk about these. Yeah.
Sure. So several of these projects aren't just the project teams really want community input and understanding of how to move forward on some of them. And so listening sessions for health and social service providers and community members. So be on the lookout, I guess. You'll see this on social media, the county website, on how to attend these sessions, but for the community navigator. input on what you'd like to see in a navigator and what that role might look like. Community input sessions for hidden gems. We heard earlier, there's a stretch of road, right? That is a important part of local history. And so the hidden gems are not just what you see, like Ian said, it's really about, and I'll go back and say, probably don't want to publish some of our hidden gems, because we want them to stay for us, but there are other places and other areas in the county that are, I think, important for other folks outside of this area to recognize, and that would bring people here to see. So they want your input. What are some hidden gems? What are some places in the county? Community kitchen team will be doing a survey asking for input on what you think about the need for a commercial kitchen that could provide, or ultimately at some point, be a space to provide hot meals to residents in the county that need it, and how might a commercial kitchen be used in other ways to benefit residents and the county. And then there's a siting agreement workshop coming up with that energy subcommittee, energy economy, and a siting agreement is really thinking about, that workshop is thinking about if developers, energy developers come to Dickinson County, so solar or whatever type of energy, how might that agreement between the county and the developer best benefit the community?
Yeah. And we're also, we laid out a fun wish list. We're not naive enough to think that these are all, automatically going to be funded by the county. So we're looking to fund as much as possible through grant applications. So we'll be working with our partners at the county and potentially some of the towns to put in some applications for some state grants, some community foundation grants to really try and support this work and make sure that it sort of continues to exist after the raft is done. And so, like I said, we'll be here in and around here until 2026, September 2026. So that is our presentation. So thank you for the time. I know you had a packed agenda, so we really appreciate the opportunity.
Well, thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda, number 8, the OAA grant request from Rachel Patton.
So good evening, I'm Rachel Patton. I'm the Executive Director of the Southwest Virginia Workforce Development Board. I'm coming here tonight to ask for a resolution from Dickinson County to support a regional OAA application from the board for those regional funds, and to also ask ask if Dickinson County would serve as fiscal agent for the project. And so we are asking, the Workforce Development Board is a 501c3 nonprofit. We operate federal workforce programs. A part of our strategic plan over the last several years has been to increase the labor force participation rate in far Southwest Virginia. Currently, we have a labor force participation rate of about 44%. State and national average is closer to 65%. So our strategy has been to look at those 55% of folks that aren't working. Why are they not working, and what services could we provide them to help them step back into the workforce? For the last 6 years, we've operated a program called ROPES. This is a recovery program that assists people into transitioning back into the workforce. Currently, that program is being funded by a work grant through the Department of Labor, but that funding is running out this year, and we still have a huge demand for those services. We have helped over 300 folks in the region maintain their recovery and step back into full-time employment in the 6 years that we've operated this program. Currently, we carry one of the highest caseloads in Dickinson County. We currently have 35 participants here in Dickinson County, and we still have a huge demand for this program. We work closely with the recovery houses and all of the other resources, probation and parole, the drug courts, to help get participants out as they transition out of those programs and are taking the next steps to re-enter the workforce. We are hoping to renew this grant for a period of 3 years. So far, the target of this grant is to serve the entirety of far southwest Virginia. So that would be Dickinson, Buchanan, Tazewell, Russell, Lee, Scott, and Wise, as well as the city of Norton. So we have resolutions from everyone so far, with the exception of you guys that I'm hoping to get tonight. We're still working with the city of Norton. So we're hoping to be able to get that resolution and move forward with this application so we can keep this important funding in Southwest Virginia. So I'll stop and ask if you all have any questions about the program.
Mr. Chairman?
Yep.
So you're asking, you have $329,000.
So we're asking for a total of $800,000 from the regional grant. What I'm asking from each of our localities is, in order for us to apply for that regional grant, we have to have a resolution from Dickinson County stating that you all support that. I'm asking for a $25,000 match out of your local OAA funds, as well as an agreement from you all to serve as our fiscal agent. So I've been working with Mr. Barton and Ms. Cronkite on this application. You all have successfully obtained those regional OAA funds. We've worked with you all before with Dickinson County on a number of projects, so we felt like you all would be our best resource to serve as fiscal agent. Our chief local elected officials elected at our November meeting, I think, August meeting, for me to move forward with a request for you all to serve as our fiscal agent.
Any other questions?
I serve on the CLEO board, which is local chief elected officials. And they have had, and I have been part of this program, I guess ever since I have been on the board since 2020. And I have seen a lot of people come forward, because when we have our November meeting, they are invited to come to give their story, and how people has just praised this program, that they have been able to get their life back. And I've seen people sitting and tell their story. So, and I'm glad the board chose our county to be their fiscal agent for this too. But I didn't realize we had 35 people in Dickinson County.
We do. We have a huge.
I probably just hadn't asked you how many participants from all the counties.
So you all have our second largest caseload among those 8 localities I named. So we've had a lot of success here in Dickinson County. Through this program, we help support their recovery. Everyone in our program, our case managers are peer recovery specialists. So they have had lived experience and now are able to coach other folks. We do things like help with housing, transportation, all of those needs, as well as training, any type of short-term training that they may need to re-enter the workforce. We help them get their driver's license back with the end goal to place them into employment. So we can do internships, we can do federal bonding, but our goal at the end of the program is to help them stabilize in their recovery and obtain and retain a full-time job.
I do have one question. On the website, I did notice that you all have a vacancy for the ropes employment specialist in all the counties. Well,
we've got
Russell.
Yes. So one of them left for personal reasons, health reasons before Christmas. The other one recently left in January. She is getting her counseling degree and she's near the end of her program. And so she had to go do her observation hours. And so we knew that one was getting ready to go. So we do currently have those vacancies. We've already got applications and are currently working to fill both of those positions.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, may I add a comment? In working with Ms. Patton and the project that we have currently with the Wildwood Recovery Center, I just want to say that the services that they provide are going to be essential complement to the program that we're going to have at Wildwood Recovery Center. So,
Any other questions? All right, so right here, we would need a motion to approve the 25,000 in the OAA funding for the ropes project and to be a part of the joint opioid abatement authority cooperative grant application by serving as fiscal agent.
Commissioner Sturgill can prepare the needed.
I can prepare the
resolution.
specific language that you need, because you mentioned resolution, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll take that motion, put it into the resolution with that language, and we'll get that to you.
So we still need a motion.
But yes, you'll need a motion to be able to pass that.
Yeah, I'll make that motion. Do I need to reread that?
Do we
Do I need to
for
reread that, what you
clarification?
read?
You made the motion, correct, or did you?
No, I
Okay.
just read. I said we need a motion.
Okay, sure.
I will make the motion to approve 25,000 in the opioid abatement funding for this roads project and to be a part of the joint opioid abatement authority cooperative grant application by serving them as the physical agent.
We need a second.
I will second it.
All in favor,
May I
signify by
have
saying aye.
discussion?
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. You are correct.
Mr. Chairman.
Any discussion?
Mr. Morton,
Yes, ma'am.
we do have the funding in the opioid abate.
We do. Yes, ma'am. We have
To
sufficient
use
funding to
that.
do that. And I think that would be a good use of our funds, so.
All right, thank you.
Any other discussion? Now, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And aye as well.
Thank you all. We appreciate your support.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you, Rachel.
All right, down to number 9, a proclamation for Black History Month.
Mr. Chairman, you want me to read that proclamation?
Why, sure.
Okay. The Board of Supervisors of Dixon County, Virginia Black History Month proclamation. Whereas during Black History Month, we celebrate the many achievements and contributions made by African Americans to our nation. And whereas beginning on February the 12th, 1926, and for many years thereafter, the second week of February was celebrated as Black History Week, chosen to coincide with the birthdays of Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln. And whereas in 1976, as part of the nation's bicentennial observance, Black History Week was expanded and formally established as Black History Month. It is now celebrated throughout the United States. And whereas the celebration of Black History Month provides an opportunity to recognize the cultural, history, and enduring contributions of African Americans as essential to the core beliefs and values of our society, and whereas the contributions of African Americans have been vital to the growth, development, and success of Dickinson County, the Commonwealth of Virginia, and our nation. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Dixon County Board of Supervisors does hereby recognize and observe February 2026 as Black History Month, encourages all citizens to reflect upon and celebrate the significant contributions of African Americans to our community and our country. Dated this 20th day of January 2026 by the Dixon County Board of Supervisors.
Thank you, Ms. Sluss. Now we'll need a motion to approve this proclamation.
I'll make a motion to approve this proclamation.
Second it.
All right, thank you. All in favor, or any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Number 10, new business, Pierce Insurance.
Mr. Chair, if you'd like, I'll chair on that one.
Thank you.
Back in 2021, we had met Lonnie and Donna Pierce at a VACO conference, and we've, started discussions with them back then, and met with them and talked with them several times. They provide a benefit to our employees by overseeing voluntary insurance policies. Voluntary things like Aflac, life insurance policies, disability policies, things like that, and what they do is they would come in and meet with our staff. We have right now several different vendors that are providing that to our staff. And this would kind of pull everything together into one. They would meet with our staff, go through the current coverages they have, look to see if they have better coverages, if they have duplicate coverages, anything they can do to make them have the coverage they need at the best price possible. And at the same time, we would say that could be our only vendor coming in. We wouldn't let all the others come in. It would all be under one umbrella. And in exchange for that, they would provide, there's no charge to the county. We wouldn't pay anything for their services because there is a commission that's made on the sale of voluntary products that the current different brokers that's doing it now are making. And they would take that and provide resources like the books I was kind of passing around for employees to show the different, it would show our current health insurance and stuff. They would combine that with it, the coverages we have, as well as voluntary programs they could sign up for. I shared a web link once before. They would have a website that they could go to and see these, and they would have a dedicated customer service number if they had a question with their policy or making a claim to their policy or anything like that. So that's what we are asking that you look at and consider right now.
Thank you, Mr. Barton. So we will need a motion to approve master service agreement with Pierce Insurance Agent.
Mr. Hall, this wouldn't take effect until our open enrollment is always December of each year, so we would be doing this to have adequate time to get everything in place for December of 2026 for open enrollment for January of 2027, so.
No effect this year.
No.
I'll make that motion that we have work with them to have a master service agreement with Pierce Insurance Agency.
Thank you, Ms. Kaiser. Anybody want a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
Yes. Mr. Barton?
Yes, ma'am.
Have the employees been open to this, or has it been discussed with our employees?
We haven't really discussed it with our employees as far as an option for them, so. Because a lot of the stuff would be like they have Aflac now, and it'd be Aflac with the current provider, Aflac with the new. The schools did something similar to this several years ago, and it's proven to be a good thing. So, if the board would wish, we could share some information, I guess, with the staff and table this and bring it back later. I don't know. Do whatever the board would choose on that. So,
I just wonder if the employees would be open to it.
See why they would. Mr. Chairman, I don't see why they wouldn't be. It's beneficial to them. You don't want to have insurances that conflict or overlap each other. But I don't have any problem with asking the employees if they certainly don't want to do anything they don't want. I don't see why they wouldn't want it.
we're open, whatever the pleasure of the board is, we can do whatever.
Mr. Chairman, it wouldn't change any of their insurances that they are presently taking out, correct?
It could perhaps.
It could.
There may be a different policy they would go with, a better policy, a cheaper policy, whatever. You know, they'd have to look at what was offered, so. Right now, what we have is, we have a lot of vendors that's been through the county in the past 20 years. They've come in one time and sold policies, and then they've left and never come back and serviced their employees is a big thing, so.
A lot of them are still paying premiums on.
Yeah, we have a lot of payroll deductions for voluntary programs, so.
And some of them overlap
That I don't know. I know we found that when we did that at the school, when I was
School,
employed
yeah.
at the school, we had a lot of duplicative coverages and overlaps and things there, so.
So the end result was kind of a savings for the employee.
We could always have, Jeremy or Adam, send out some information, some examples of what they've got, try to do some kind of survey or something if the board would wish, because time's not of the essence on this, so.
Do you have a motion and a second?
I do. You'd have to do a second or
No, that's okay. I'll go ahead and approve it.
any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. All right. Down to 10B, the Lane Group. Mr. Barton.
Mr. Chair, we received a letter last week stating that the Lane Group had been acquired by another company, Rinker Design Associates, and they sent the attached letter in your board packet out asking us to sign to agree that any outstanding contracts that the Lane Group has would be assigned to the Rinker Design Associates. And the only project we really have outstanding right now is finishing up Carl Jesse Lane. There's a few minor things there, but I shared this with Mr. Sturgill, and
I've looked at the language. The legal language is perfectly fine. I've got no issues with recommending the board move forward with this.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion. I mean, in other words, Lane is an engineering group, and they have sold out or joined
bought
with, been bought out by this group.
yes, ma'am.
We don't have a lot of engineering groups around anymore like we did.
My understanding is the Lane Group no longer exists. It was acquired by Rinker Design,
Designs.
which is a larger
It is.
group as far as that.
Are they gonna maintain an office in Wise?
I think they had an office in Big Stone.
Correct, they didn't have one in Wise, but
Oh, Big Stone, that's right.
And it's my understanding that they are going to maintain the Big Stone office. But I'll also say that this right here is just to finish up any existing contracts,
We just
which
have-
were correct. So it's not any sort of long-term obligations either, as far as that.
So we need to make a resolution,
A motion,
a motion, oh, shoot, I'm hung up on resolutions tonight. Make a motion that,
to approve the assignment,
you approve the assignment of the Ricker Group.
correct.
I'll make that motion.
Need a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Now we're down to 10C, natural gas request.
let me take that one, Mr. Chair, or do you want?
If you don't care, Mr.
Sure. Members of the board, I was contacted week before last by Mr. Thacker, who's unable to be with us at today's meeting. But he'd asked that I add this to the agenda. He said he had received some calls from community members asking about the PSA providing natural gas to the citizens of Dickinson County. And of course, this isn't the first time that the topic has came back. It was a big topic back in 2022 on that. And there's, we shared some information as far as the steps that would have to go through in order for that to happen. But, besides those steps, as far as amending, their resolution or their charter, and the biggest hurdle is going to be the funding, of course. But he'd asked that this be looked into and, or added to the agenda so that, the board could direct that this be looked into. So, whatever the pleasure of the board is, if this is something that the board wants me to work with the executive director of the PSA and try to do some research and, see what's out there with funding to see, Appalachian Natural Gas, they have all the service area here, if they'd be willing to work with them and, what would be required. But ultimately, I know it's going to come down, funding and grant availability is going to be the biggest roadblocks, I think. But, whatever the pleasure of the board is on this, that's what we'll do, so.
I think we should
Thank you,
make,
Mr. Burke.
Mr. Chairman, I think we should make a motion to let Larry work with the PSA director, which is Dennis Baker, to explore this?
Is this a motion, I mean, is this to just explore it, or is this some?
Yes.
We'd have to come back to
That
approve
was
it.
your motion, correct? To
Yeah.
just
Explore it.
look into the possibilities and
I think we'd have to report that
feasibilities.
back to the board and then see
Yes,
what
sir.
the next step would be.
So now we would need a second for that, if anybody.
What if the PSA is not even interested in doing something like that? What trend,
I
what,
can tell her.
The PSA can't take it on because of the financial part of it, I guess the insurance part of it, that there would be a lot of, it's just like putting water in. You have to have right-of-ways, you have to have all this. PSA is not interested in it. I think you'd have to get a gas utility company to be interested.
Funding first.
Funding first, and they're, I mean,
Okay.
PSA is not equipped to do this.
Mr. Chairman, I think it would cost, the top cost would be enormous.
No doubt.
But they can still, I think it's something that needs to be looked at, explored. But
So-
that's up to you guys.
Well, we got a motion on the floor, so we need a second, if anybody seconds. If not, this one, we'll just move on.
I would table it until Mr. Thacker's here, since he wanted it on the agenda. My motion would be to table it till Mr. Thacker's here and let him talk to us about it. And then, we were supposed to have PSA this morning, and we didn't have, felt like we wouldn't have a quorum, so we're meeting Tuesday. So it'll be on the agenda, I guess, for discussion.
Okay, so you want to make a secondary motion to table this?
Nobody seconded the first one. did
No.
they?
They did not.
So I'll make a motion that we
Withdraw
table it.
it. Can I
Okay.
withdraw it?
But you can withdraw it, but she can make a motion to table it.
Okay.
Okay. So now we got a motion to table?
Has it been motioned and seconded?
Not seconded.
not a second?
Okay, then that motion would have failed, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, I make a motion that we table it till Mr. Thacker's here. I
Thank you,
think we
Ms.
owe
Rose.
him that
Do I hear a second?
discussion for him.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any other further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye as well. That was good. Thank you, Ms. Rose. All right, so now I think we canceled D, we're on to E. 10E, the NACO Rural Academy, Energy Academy Cohort. So this, Dickinson County got chosen out of 25 localities in the U.S. to participate in this NACO Rural Energy Academy, which Mr. Barton, we had applied and he wasn't able to make it, and I made the trip for him back, I think it was in November, to Oregon to visit some solar farms and to have a kind of a cohort with other localities, rural localities, for discussion about green energy, mostly windmills and solar and siting agreements. So it's very, very beneficial. Got a lot of good feedback and materials and made a lot of good contacts. So they reached out again, and they're going to have this cohort here. And most of it's virtual. It's going to be a 12-week, I think. They said 12 weeks. And peer-to-peer discussions, The Mana Group Consulting is paying for it or funding it, I'm pretty sure. Technical assistance, and just learning opportunities for the counties to learn how to, the localities can benefit from the siding agreements, community engagement plans and things. So that's very, very important that we're able to take part in this type of activity to help us as we move forward with the solars and possibly wind, nuclear, so. And we need a letter of support for Mr. Barton to join this cohort. They can take up to 2. So I'll be on it. And I think Mr. Barton should be a part of this. But then we need a letter of recommendation for Mr. Barton to participate in this. So that's kind of where we're at with that. So we would need a motion to get a letter of recommendation for Mr. Barton to participate in this cohort.
That's something you wanna, can you serve on that?
I can serve on it. I don't know where I'll find the time at, but
Did I see on here, and I read it Sunday evenings, it says 3 months free. What's after 3 months?
Yeah, that's it. That's just the term of that's just it. It's over after that.
It's over after 3 months?
Yeah. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be Mr. Barton. Two board members can do it, or if we have a staff member, they have to have a letter of recommendation from the board.
I hate to pile more on Larry.
He does stay busy.
He does.
But it's no cost to the county whatsoever.
Did you say it was going to be I guess, the training or whatever, talk about it or what?
Yeah, it's all virtual sales
Virtual.
or sessions. They give technical assistance and stuff with the siding agreements, community benefit packages. Kind of talk to other localities that's already been through it,
I guess Larry'd be the most logical choice.
unfortunately, for Larry.
Say hi, Larry.
whatever you want me to do.
Well, Chris can help you out a lot, so.
Then I guess I'll make the motion to authorize the chairman to sign this letter recommending Mr. Barton to this cohort.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Uh,
Aye as well. Any opposed?
One good thing, it's 12 weeks,
12 weeks.
3 months, it's not.
Forever.
Well, I don't think you're getting.
I didn't vote. I just don't understand enough that we need this enough to vote for it, so.
So you abstain?
I think I'm gonna vote no on it. I just don't think it's beneficial for us to spend that much time on it.
How many meetings will they be?
There'll be several. I can't remember, let's see. Do you remember Mr. Barton?
You shared something with me over the weekend.
It would be like y'all coming to this building and meeting and having a
No, it's all virtual.
you do it at home at your leisure or whatever?
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a certain time.
Mm.
Your time schedule's different than ours.
3
If
years
it's in
behind
Oregon,
us.
they would be on a different time than as, so are you saying it would be on their time?
It's Eastern time.
It'd be on Eastern time.
It says, the Rural Energy Academy cohort will run for 12 weeks. The orientation will be held as a hybrid session, February 23rd. Selected counties will be expected to commit to participation in a combination of live cohort sessions and asynchronous work weeks, each week 60 to 90 minutes, and completion of weekly reading assignments associated with cohort sections, approximately 60 to 90 minutes, and participate in 3 60-minute team office hour sessions scheduled at the county's convenience, and participate in a final peer share out during the last week of the program, late May 2026. So.
That's right, during budget time.
Yeah. I don't know.
I just think it put too much on Mr. Barton.
It probably would have. I didn't know all of that. Was that in that letter?
No, I didn't get that till Chris shared it with me like Friday or Saturday. I think he told an email that he
Because
got,
I didn't
so.
think I seen that in that attachment to that.
And I think the only recourse would be they would just kick us out of the cohort if Larry didn't participate. There's no
Participate all that I
financial
can.
considerations there, but
Okay.
all right, moving on to number 11A.
That'll be in your addendum.
Yeah.
The one we just received. No, I'm sorry. I'm off one. Sorry.
It's one.
11A's in
We're on the
the packet, so.
Yeah.
Virginia Public Authority Agreement. So with that, we would need a motion to off this.
What is it? Excuse me, Mr. Chairman, what is this? We already purchased our power from Appalachian Power. I don't understand.
This is the first time I've seen one of these. I think Ms. Willis indicated she has never seen one since she's been on the board, if ever came. And what it is, we participate, we're part of the VML VACO APCO steering committee. And what they do is members of this steering committee work, lobby with AEP and things as far as when it comes to rates and trying to keep rates low for taxpayers and for government entities and things. And, this information was sent to Casey as clerk, and she shared it with me last week. They've completed a negotiation for 2026, and this is just, what we are supposed to sign as being part of the steering committee, that purchases power from AEP. So, Mr. Sturgill, I know we sent that to you. Did you have anything to?
That's a pretty good overview of it. The way I take it, it's that the steering committee negotiated rates and try to help lower cost eventually, but at the same time, it's kind of, we either sign this agreement or we don't participate in it.
Right.
Correct.
What happens if you don't participate in it?
I would assume you want to get the lower rates.
Well, I make a motion that we participate in it. If we can get the rates lower for anyone, it'd be worth it.
We got a motion, we need a second.
Second it, but
Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well.
None of you all are on that steering committee, are you?
No.
Now on to 11B,
And this is the one actually in the addendum, so.
Mutual Aid and Cooperation Agreement for Law Enforcement. Mr. Barton, you want to?
Sure. Late afternoon, Sheriff Fleming signed this, or shared this agreement with me, and basically what it is a mutual aid agreement between Dickinson County and Buchanan County for their sheriff's offices to work together to better serve the citizens. And it outlines, if one office were to have to back up the other office, who, how that process would work, and, how the function would be. And it outlines the task force that we are a part of course, right now, and just interjurisdictional action, those things. Like I said, Sheriff Fleming works with Sheriff of Buchanan County very well and have for many years, and this is just, I'm assuming we've already got one in place at some point
We do.
in the past, that this is just an updated version of that. It's the first time I've seen one since I've been here.
Wise
So.
County too.
We do, yes, ma'am.
I make
Mr.
a
Sturgill,
motion that we
review
approve
that.
this because this is just I think we've renewed this. Is this one a renewal, isn't it? Or is it a new one? Because
There's already
they've
one in
worked with
place, I
Buchanan
think this,
County before.
yeah, I think there's already one in place, from my understanding. I got this late, so I'm not that.
Yeah, I think they may have to renew it.
So you made the motion.
I made the motion that we approve.
We have a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye as well. Now, down to 12A, Bristol Casino Revenue Sharing Resolution.
Well, Mr. Chair, I'll take that one if that's okay.
Yes.
I serve on the commission, and we've had many meetings in the past probably month and a half, I guess. With that, of course, everybody's probably seen the news and heard the discussion of City of Bristol wanting a larger share of the revenue sharing. With that, there's 14 localities that benefit from the casino. And of course, going back, when this all began, there was 3 potential sites for the casino that were being looked at. And the 2 funders and founders of the casino, the original casino, had made their money in the coal, from coal money. And they wanted this to be a regional project. It was always intended to be a regional project. This was the first casino in Virginia, and how the legislation got passed to enable the casino is really big with the revenue sharing. Each of the 14 localities receives an equal share. And we met last week again, our most recent meeting with the Regional Improvement Commission, and spoke about this. And none of the other 12 localities, Bristol wants to share us and the other 13 localities, talk with their boards and things, and nobody had any interest in doing that. So what we felt like would be appropriate would be to each of the 13 other localities to draft a resolution and have their board pass that. And I'll be glad to read that, Mr. Chair, but basically we want to thank them for their support and share how those funds have benefited our county and the services that we provide to our citizens, and, to be detrimental if we didn't get them. So what we're asking is for this to be approved, and I've already got letters drafted to each of our legislators. Ms. Robinson has them ready, and I'd ask that y'all direct our clerk to share them with our legislators on that. So that's what we're looking at, and if you want, I'd be glad to read this.
That'd be great. Thank
Sure.
you.
So this is a resolution of the Dickinson County Board of Supervisors expressing appreciation to the Southwest Virginia Legislative Delegation for support of Bristol Casino revenue sharing. Whereas the Dickinson County Board of Supervisors recognizes and appreciates the leadership and support of the members of the Southwest Virginia Legislative Delegation in authorizing and supporting the Bristol Casino Gaming Framework, including the establishment of the Bristol Transportation District Regional Improvement Commission. And whereas Dickinson County is one of 14 localities that benefit equally from the distribution of casino gaming tax proceeds to the Bristol Transportation District Regional Improvement Commission in accordance with the Code of Virginia. And whereas the Bristol Casino Project was always intended to be a regional initiative benefiting all of the localities in the Bristol Transportation District, and the project's developers were adamant that casino gaming tax revenues be shared equitably among the participating localities. And whereas these funds have provided a reliable and essential source of revenue that Dickinson County has used to strengthen public education and critical public safety services for its citizens, and whereas casino gaming tax proceeds have enabled Dickinson County to provide additional funding support for its public schools, enhancing educational opportunities for students throughout the county. And whereas these funds have also been instrumental in supporting public safety, including increased resources for the Dickinson County Sheriff's Department, the county's 4 volunteer fire departments, and its 3 rescue squad agencies, all of which play a vital role in protecting the health, safety, and welfare of county residents. And whereas the loss or reduction of this funding would be detrimental to Dickinson County and would significantly impact the county's ability to sustain and enhance education and public safety services relied upon by its citizens. Now therefore be it resolved that the Dickinson County Board of Supervisors does hereby express its sincere gratitude and appreciation to the members of the Southwest Virginia Legislative Delegation for their continued support of the Bristol Casino revenue sharing structure and the associated funding distributed through the Bristol Transportation District Regional Improvement Commission. And be it further resolved that the Board of Supervisors acknowledges the positive and tangible impact this legislative support has had on Dickinson County schools, law enforcement, fire protection, emergency medical services, and overall quality of life. And be it further resolved that the clerk of the board is directed to transmit a copy of this resolution to the members of the Southwest Virginia Legislative Delegation as an expression of the county's appreciation and support, adopted by the Dickinson County Board of Supervisors on the 20th day of January 2026.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. Do we have a motion to accept this resolution?
I'll make that motion that we pass this resolution.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Moving on to 13, appointments. 13A is VASAP. So, I think currently we had Mr. Newberry, and we need to replace him with someone. I'll open up the floor to nominations for the Southwest Virginia Alcohol Safety Program Policy Board.
I nominate Cynthia
He's
Short.
scheduled won't be
Cynthia
here.
Short.
Cynthia Short.
Oh, I'll second her nomination.
Who's?
Cynthia Short.
Oh,
Doesn't have to be seconded, does it?
No, we don't have to have a second.
Okay.
Any other nominations? So I'll close the nominations and we'll vote. Miss Willis, how do you vote?
I vote aye.
Miss Sluss?
Aye.
Miss Kaiser?
aye.
Aye as well. All right. Heart of Appalachia Tourism Authority. We have Miss Rita Surratt was on this board, I believe, and she's come off of it, so we'll have to fill that. And I think for this board, it needs to be the tourism director, which we don't currently.
Correct. The Code of Virginia states that shall be made up of the tourism directors of the counties in the Lenawisco and Cumberland Plateau planning districts. And if a tourism director is not employed by the county, then they recommend another staff member from the county be in this role. So
The closest thing that we have, well,
Dana.
I'm gonna take nominations.
I'll take a nomination. I'll nominate Dana Cronkite.
Any other nominations? Hearing none, we'll close the nominations. Miss Kaiser, how do you vote?
Aye.
Miss Sluss?
Yes.
Miss Willis?
Aye.
Aye as well. Moving on to the Crooked Road, Virginia's Heritage Music Trail. I think this was another appointment that Rita's come off of.
yes, and her current term ends on 2/22/27, so this would be to fulfill her remaining term. So
I'll open up the floor to nominations for,
Wait, her term ends,
February next year.
yes, February 22nd of 2027, and Ms. Surratt resigned as of 12/31 when she left the county. She also submitted a separate letter resigning from some of the boards she served on. So
his term expires 1/31/2026.
I'd like to nominate Kevin Phillips for this. Spoke with him earlier, so. Do we have any other nominations? Hearing none, we'll close the nominations and vote. Miss Kaiser?
Aye.
Miss Sluss?
Yes.
Miss Willis?
Aye.
Aye as well. And now we have the chair of the local VA 250 committee.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to nominate Casey Newsom for this. I'm not sure that they have a tremendous amount of meetings, but I also think that I read in this description that it needs to be someone in office. Where did I see that at? But I like, and Casey said she would serve. I asked her.
Thank you, Ms. Kaiser. Ms. Kaiser has nominated Casey Newsom. Any other nominations? Hearing none, we'll close the nominations. Ms. Kaiser?
Aye.
Ms. Luss?
Yes.
Ms. Willis?
Aye.
I as well. And the last one is E. Dickinson County Tourism Committee, which is another one that Ms. Surratt has come off of. And I think with the Tourism Committee, it doesn't have to be a,
You have two, Mr. Chair, we have two on there right now that you'll be filling, and we do them individually. The first one we need to look at is going to be for Ms. Rita Surratt. She was serving his role of tourism director with that appointment. And then Mr. Tyler Mullins, when we were going through the records and updating everything, Ms. Vicki Barton had brought to our attention that Tyler Mullins resigned back in 2024, and an official resignation never came to the board for him to be reappointed. So you'll have two. One needs to be a staff that really, Rita was there as tourism director, so you probably do need, probably Dana in that role.
Dana, I would.
And then you could do a citizen, but it'll be two separate rounds through this.
okay. So we'll open up the nominations for the tourism director.
I will nominate Dana to be on that. Cronkite.
Thank you, Ms. Luss, for nominating Ms. Cronkite. Any other nominations? Hearing none, we'll close nominations. How do you vote, Ms. Kaiser?
Aye.
Ms. Luss?
Yes.
Ms. Willis?
Aye.
I as well. And now we'll open up nominations to fill the Tyler Mullins.
Mr. Chair, all of the Tourism Committee members' appointments come back up on June 30th, 2026, so both of these appointments will be fulfilling those unexpired terms, so.
Thank you, Mr. Martin.
Do we have to do that now? I mean,
You can go ahead and fill his, and then we'll have to revisit it again in June, so.
so how often, excuse me, Mr. Chairman, may I ask you a question?
Yes.
Or Laurie, how often does this board meet?
Was Vicky here? Okay, Vicky's here, so yeah, once a month, so.
They meet once a month, the last Tuesday of the month. We changed it to 3 o'clock as long as Tyler was on the committee, because you all know, that's pretty hard to get out. And so, when he came off of the committee, we set it back to.
I talked last night, or night before last, to Jennifer Kendrick, and I think she would be a good member of this committee. Are you willing to, Jennifer? I know you's here.
I appreciate the nomination, I do. So I have a prior commitment monthly. If you met early, I would wait. Well, it would be up to really the tourism director, the new director coming up.
Right, it would be to set the meeting schedule, yes.
Then that would be acceptable.
So would you be willing to be on that?
Yes.
So I nominate Jennifer Kendrick then. Such a sweet person. But I see her and Ron at almost every event, so they're very active in the old county.
I had planned on nominating Sabrina Stanley. I think she's part of our team here. She's needs to be kind of involved with the tourism thing, to kind of bring all that together with economic development, tourism. So I'm gonna throw her name out there for this one also.
Jennifer won't lose.
I think that's a great idea.
Jennifer won't lose any sleep over that, so.
I mean, they're both wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah,
people, so.
Sabrina is, she's good. I have no problem with
Sabrina
Sabrina.
would be a very great asset. And, I think you'd be a good choice as well.
I think they're both good
Yeah.
choices.
Yeah, just for the
Mr. Chair, you'll
record.
vote in the order they were, nominations were made, so.
Yeah, we have to go in order.
Oh, I'm not going, and I withdraw if Jennifer's,
I mean, if she says she doesn't want to serve, you can withdraw it, but at the same time,
I'm willing to assist and help.
is there a set number of people you have on this board?
We have 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, it looks like, counting the director, so.
Has anybody, so. Does that mean you have to have 12?
Well, we changed it. We had a smaller number back in 2022, and we amended, we have to go back and amend, make an amendment to make that change separate from the appointments.
I think there's gonna be some more people come off of it from my,
So now where we at with these nominations? Did we withdraw?
You'll have to vote on Jennifer first,
Okay.
as long as
Well,
her
we'll-
name's in.
We'll run Jennifer through, name through first.
Oh, my word.
well, I'm not gonna vote against Jennifer.
More than one, you know, absolutely.
Well,
So did
She
you
withdraw
withdraw?
or
are you keeping it in, or are you
oh,
withdrawing?
I can withdraw it because I don't wanna go against the chairman here.
You don't. You can nominate
But I think
whoever you
later
want.
on she'd be a good, because I think there's some more people coming on this. But I think later on you would be a good addition. So I'll withdraw.
Any other nominations? All right, hearing none. Ms. Kaiser, how do you vote? Ms. Luss?
Yes.
Ms. Willis?
Yes.
I as well. All right, down to number 14, the lease agreement with Flemingtown Church.
Mr. Chair, as you all know, this is something we do every year. We got a few county properties we have to do, but we lease the parking lot across the road from the church where the former school used to be, to Flemingtown Church trustees. They pay the county $1 a year, and they're responsible for the upkeep of the property and maintaining liability insurance on the property. So this is the same lease. The original lease is attached from 2005, and we've got a letter which we do for renewals each year that's attached to your packet. So
I make a motion that we renew their lease to, or our lease to Flemingtown Church trustees.
Thank you, Ms. Willis. Do I hear a second?
What, do you have to second this?
Yeah.
This is where my husband went to school and went to church, so I'm gonna second it.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Then I'm down to general business, electronic meeting policy.
Mr. Chair, this is something that the board has to adopt each year. There's a code change, I think maybe last year, that required an annual adoption of this. This is the same policy that we currently have in place, which outlines, how the process works if one of you all are unable to participate, the qualifying circumstances that you can participate remotely, and then at the very end, it has a resolution that the board would have to adopt at the beginning of the meeting to allow your remote participation, so.
I make a motion that we pass this resolution.
So let's do I hear a second.
I'll second.
Any
For
discussion?
policy, it's a policy, it's not a resolution, I'm sorry.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. 15B, the holiday calendar.
Mr. Chair, what you have before you there, of course, each year we try to look at our holiday calendar. The county always follows the Virginia state holiday calendar. And at the same time, we have, as far as our court systems and our staff over there, follow the Supreme Court of Virginia calendar. And so sometimes there's differences in those calendars, and we try to look at those early in the year so that we try to get everything on the same page. This year, the Commonwealth of Virginia and the Supreme Court of Virginia calendar aligned. There was no differences in those. The only additional holiday that the board normally grants is going to be Good Friday, and that's assumed on this calendar here. So we're asking, we've attached the Commonwealth of Virginia pay calendar and the proposed holiday calendar with the inclusion of Good Friday. So it's whatever the pleasure of the board is on this.
May I ask a question, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened to Lee Jackson Day? We used to have a Lee Jackson Day. We used to get that one off.
We lost that.
They
They
done
traded
away.
that with Juneteenth. When they added Juneteenth, they took that holiday away, so the number of holidays stayed the
I
same.
remember we used to
But
get
they
it
replaced
off
it with Juneteenth a few years
February.
ago. Mhm.
Yeah. We used to like it.
That's a good question, good observation. That
That
is.
is.
It is.
I used to think, what, we were celebrating the Confederacy in the northern part too. In the north and south.
It was just a state holiday. It wasn't
Correct.
a
It wasn't
federal
federal, it was a
holiday.
state holiday.
And they took it, okay.
Yeah, I know the Northam administration, when Juneteenth got added, then they took away the Lee Jackson and added the Juneteenth. So
I sure
the
liked
total
it
number of
back then.
holidays stayed the same.
Everyone just celebrate Lee Jackson. So I make a motion that we accept this holiday schedule.
Thank you. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Moving on to the payroll calendar.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Again, we've been trying to do early in the year to set all of our calendars. During our organizational meeting, we set our meeting calendar and our budget schedule, and of course, at our January meeting, then we try to do these two. But our payroll calendar, 2 times a year, we try to pay our staff just a little early. That's right immediately before Thanksgiving. We're proposing, instead of paying on the 30th of November, to move that payroll to Tuesday, November 24th. And in December, to get their December check before Christmas, so move the December 30th payroll to Wednesday, December 23rd. And this is the same practice we followed in years past, so.
Thank you, Mr. Barton.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we accept the payroll calendar.
Thank you, Ms. Willis. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
You any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. 16, ordinance, approval of the transient occupancy tax ordinance. Of course, I think we've kind of explained that this currently is 2%, trying to get it to 5%. We would need a motion to approve the transient occupancy tax ordinance.
I'll make a motion that we approve this ordinance.
Thank you,
Transient
Ms. Lutz.
occupancy tax ordinance.
Have a second? I'll second that one. So any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. All right, that brings us down to number 17, closed meeting.
I'll make a motion that we go into closed meeting pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A, 7A, actual or probable litigation 7.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. I think that's it.
Okay, in closed session?
Mr. Hall.
All right. We'll reconvene here. I need a motion to come out of close.
You want me to read this again?
I make a motion, we come out of closed session. And then you
Oh.
read the thing.
Okay.
You need a second on coming out.
You'll need a second.
I think you can just declare us out, can't you?
He can. Typically, we've had a motion and a second.
Well, I make a motion, we come out of closed session.
Okay, you don't have to have a second, or you can just use?
Yes,
Yeah, I'll
with the
second it.
motion, you have to second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I as well.
Now you ready for me to read this?
Now we got,
Whereas the Dickinson County Board of Supervisors has convened a closed meeting on this date pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote and in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and whereas 2.2-3712 of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by the Dickinson County Board of Supervisors that a closed meeting was conducted in conformity with Virginia law. Now therefore be it resolved that the Dickinson County Board of Supervisors hereby certify that, to the best of each member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by law were discussed in the closed meeting to which this certification resolution applies, and only such public business matters as identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered by the Dickinson County Board of Supervisors. And I guess I read that as
That was
the motion.
okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Then you do a roll call.
All right. Ms. Kaiser, how do you vote?
I certify.
Ms. Lust?
Yes.
Ms.
Yes.
Willis? I as well. All right, matters discussed in closed meeting. We got any motions coming out of closed?
I guess, I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution approving settlement of litigation.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. So now we're down to 20, supervisors' comments. So Ms. Kaiser, I'll let you start.
I'd just like to thank everybody that came out tonight for our meeting. Hadn't seen that bigger crowd in a long time. Everything has gone relatively smooth tonight. Don't know of no issues. Thank the people who was willing to serve on these committees and boards for us and for our county. Just thank everybody for the job that we've been doing. Wish Richard Thacker a speedy recovery, or for whatever his ailment is, for not being here tonight. And our prior clerk that retired last fall has lost a son, and his, I think, services is next week, and deeply send my condolences to her. That's it. I'm done.
Ms. Lust?
Yeah, I want to send my condolences and sympathy to Mrs. Lyle for the loss of her son. Can't imagine how horrible it is. And I want to also to recognize the the Ridgeview academic team. They have won 4 straight district titles. 4 straight district tournament champions, 4 straight trip to regionals, 2 straight regional champs, 47-1 district record the last 4 years, 2 player of the year, 1 national player of the year, 1 all-state. They go to regionals the last of this month, and I wish them the best. Anybody says we don't have smart children, don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And I'll say that, and I thank all of my tell board members that I wish Richard a speedy recovery. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Well, I miss Richard tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, he always sit there and I sit beside him, so now we're still sitting beside him. So I miss Richard, and I hope he has a speedy recovery. And I have sympathy for Teresa. I've talked to her, and she's devastated. So anyway, I've been praying for Teresa for strength, and I continue to do that. Thank Mr. Barton for all that he's done, Mr. Sturgill for all that he's done. And thank each of my board members for being courteous to each other. And I welcome our new clerk also.
Yeah.
She did a great job.
Yeah.
Glad to have her.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard. And I too send my condolences to Teresa. That's a hard thing to have to deal with, and I wouldn't wish that upon nobody. And we've got a big weather event supposedly coming up this weekend, so everybody be extra careful and prepare. I know emergency management and our first responders, you know, they're going to be out and risking their lives to save lives, so we appreciate them. And I appreciate my board giving me this opportunity to chair this board, and just bear with me. I hope to improve over time and
You did a good job, Chris.
stuff. So I just do. I appreciate you all. All right, and now we need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Yes, yes, sir.
I will.
Who wants to discuss? Adjourn.